writing winning proposals. Writing winning proposals, I believe it's about being prepared. It's said that when opportunity comes, then it's too late to prepare. And so to write a winning proposal, there are some questions that I feel that you should ask yourself. Can you win? Can you win? Because otherwise, then proposal writing is a very detailed venture. And then to write proposals only for it to turn out that you don't win, it can be so painful. I'm telling you, I'm sure we all are here because we write proposals. It can be so demoralizing. So you want to find out, can you win? And how do you judge that? Do you think you are trustworthy, as in your brand equity? And does the client, quite apart from that, everything in business has to do with perceptions. So does the client deem you trustworthy enough, credible enough? Do they think you have the brand equity to handle their business? And also you should ask yourself, does the client's ethics and values and your company's match? And then with every decision making process, for them to give you the go ahead to work with them, there's a criteria. And then the criteria, there's a formal criteria and there's an informal criteria. So you have to, in your own interest, you have to be able to know. And if you take, for instance, if a business wants a marketing agency, for instance, to supply them with branded corporate material, if everybody is offering t-shirts, what is your differentiator? You need to know that, because that is going to be what you happen within your proposal as your value add. And then once you have decided all that, you need to find out, is this proposal worth winning? And also, if you intend to win, will it bring you a single revenue, or it will bring you a lifetime revenue, or at least a prolonged period revenue? And you also want to know, what is the strategic value of this proposal that you would put your effort in, or you and your team would decide to work on? And then also you should do a risk assessment for every proposal. Could your solution fail? What will be the impact on you? And what are the governance issues? You may win the contract, but if, for instance, it's a sole sourcing thing, and then we hear it on the radio all the time, the Public Accounts Committee, what are the government issues? Are you getting the contract because you know someone, or it's your father's company, or it's your uncle's company? And you have to decide as a person before you put in the proposal at all. If the details of it were made public, would your company survive the aftermath? And then also you would need to decide, so within your fee quote, what is your fee strategy? Is it a high ticket or a low ticket, or you are doing it mid level? And then also, do you know enough about the client? It will help you to decide. There are some bits that you will win, but the proposal later becomes so difficult to handle because the client is a problem client. And so if you think that it will be a problem client for you, what are the measures that you would put in place within your proposal writing to deal with them? And then, having said that, before you put in the proposal, you want to do a SWOT analysis of the client. What are their needs? What issues caused them to publicize this proposal? What made them decide that they will call for bids? You need to understand their client's needs at a very, very deep level. What are their issues within their sector? What are they likely to face? For instance, what are the industry issues? if we talk about the banking sector, because of everything that has gone on, the COVID, the recent changes within the banking system, if you are giving it, what can you build, what value can you build into your proposal? Because now most bank workers are being retrained. So how can you build on the issues within the sector? Would you ask them to retrain their staff? And does it offer more opportunities for you? Would you ask them to work remote? What are their underlying issues? And then you need to consider their finances. Would they pay you once? Would they pay you in a lifetime? Would you charge them small and grow with them? What is their budget? You know, and then what is their decision? Is it that you are giving your proposal to the finance manager and he goes ahead, he's the one who would be part of the team that would decide to give you the proposal, or he will just collect it and wouldn't have any say at all? Who is the final authority? Is it the CEO? And do you need to know someone before you submit? So you need to do ample intelligence on your client. And then apart from that, you also need to do some competitor analysis, because when you know what your competition is likely to offer, then you can up your game and then put out a quality value proposition. So in doing that, you want to know, is your competitor intelligence current? Is it updated or it is outdated? What are the current industry solutions that your competitors are likely to propose? How is your solution different? And then once you have decided how different your solution is, you also want to look at, are you eligible? For government-based proposals in particular, there would be eligibility, because some of the proposals would require that your legal documents are in order. So they would ask you to scan, and you may have to add your SNATE payments for your workers, that your tax payments is up to date, and your VAT has been paid, all that. In fact, the last time I did an international proposal with South Africa, I remember that I think in South Africa, for government proposals, if your tax and all those legalities are not up to date, then what I was made to understand is the government's position with regards to that is that they will take from the public coffers to pay you. So if you have not paid your tax, whose tax are they going to take to pay you? And then sometimes they want to ensure that your business is a legal one, so they will want to see your business registration papers. And some would also require the person who signs the proposal to provide a power of attorney, so that they know that if there are any legalities, they can hold the person who signs the proposal responsible. So some require a power of attorney, and some would also expect that you would purchase the bidding form. And so in that instance, you would have to go to the insurance companies and you purchase a guarantee. When you go to the insurance companies and you ask for that, they know what it is. And then what is the industry expertise of your team? So in this instance, some would ask to see the slips of your team members, maybe their certificates. Some would ask to see salary slips, to be sure that what you say, if for instance you say that I'm adding Milena on the team, she's the lead consultant, and then for her, because of her level of expertise, we are charging $500 for her per hour or per day. They want to ascertain that really is what you're saying true. So they want to see my salary slip, for instance. And then what I want to say with CVs in particular is that for companies, it is important that your workers understand that their CVs are not their personal properties, particularly for companies that write business proposals, because you use their CVs to enter the bids. And so once they understand and it's understood across the company, then they know that they have the responsibility to consistently update the CVs and also provide the CVs when it is needed. And also you want to be sure that when you are bidding for a tender for which you require a joint venture, for instance, let's say I am a marketing expert or a business development expert, but I do not have any expertise whatsoever in construction. If I want to team up and write a proposal with somebody involved in construction, because that is the proposal, I should know someone within the construction industry that I can team up with, that I can vouch for, so that at the end of the day, we can deliver a very, very good work. So it's good to also have connections within your industry and even outside your industry for people who are closely related that you would want to enter into a sort of consortium or joint venture with. Now we come to writing the proposal. And in fact, this is where most of my focus is going to be for. So to write a winning proposal, it is important that we put together a solid and strong team. And when I say a solid and strong team, the solid and strong team begins from even the team that looks at the request for proposal in-house. There should be a technical team, because for instance, if I'm writing an audit proposal, I am not an auditor. I may be able to write an audit proposal, but it is better if a professional auditor is writing the technical aspect, and then I am supporting as someone who has expertise in proposal writing to look at the non-technical. And when I say the non-technical, I mean the company profile, I mean looking at the CVs, I mean putting together the entire document and editing and proofreading your proposal. So it is important that proposal writing is not left to, for instance, those who are interns or not qualified within the firm. They can help, but they should not be the people who handle it from beginning to end. Otherwise, your chances of winning becomes very, very low. So in putting together a quality proposal, it is important that once you have picked the RFP, you meet together with the lead. The lead, for instance, if I am in Deloitte and I'm writing an audit proposal, I would pick the RFP, discuss with the partner, the audit partner, if it's an audit proposal, and he will show who he thinks are the best fits for this particular proposal that we are going to write. So that means automatically that he would have read the request for proposal. And then the non-technical team would also read the request proposal. After that, everybody who is supposed to help write the proposal has a deadline, usually within a week, to provide to the person who would ultimately put the entire document together all that they are required to provide. And that is essential, because once it becomes too long, then they go back to their daily routines, and then the proposal writing effort suffers. And what that also does, when I say each team in their zone of genius, is that everybody is a specialist within the specific thing that they are supposed to write about. So when you want to put together a quality proposal, This is a government checklist. Usually, the framework for the structuring of the proposal is given by the client. So when you look at this carefully, it talks about Tech 1, Tech 2, Tech, and these are divisions of the proposal. So you have technical proposal submission form, and that is what we would call the cover letter. And it will indicate whether you are submitting the proposal alone or as part of a joint venture. Then there's the power of attorney. Then there's the consultant organization and experience. And even that is supposed to be divided into two. A, the consultant organization, B, the consultant experience. And then suggestions on the terms of reference and counterpart facilities. As in, when they say counterpart facilities, the facilities that you would require. For instance, if your team would need to be working, would need to be working from the client side, what do they require? Do they require an office? Do they require an office that is set apart for them, or would they require that they work with the client's team from the client space? Okay, and then what are the other issues that you think the request for proposal missed out on? Maybe they would say that your team should, I wrote a proposal with Mr. Crunchy not too long ago, and they were specifying that the team would need to travel outside of Accra to go and do some work around, was it 8? Yes, I think 8 regions in Ghana. And we felt that the time frame for the travel, moving from one region to the other, was short. So when they talk about terms of reference, then you are supposed to state, if you think that it is short, just mention it so that the client knows about it. You don't leave it, and then once they hand you the thing and they think that everything is a done deal, then you come back complaining. When you do that, you've not shown good faith, and so the next time the client is not likely to trust you. So when they say suggestions on terms of reference, those are some of the things that they are talking about. Then you also need to, within your approach and methodology, talk explicitly about how you would go about accomplishing the task that the client is asking for. And then you would need to provide a work schedule, and then you would need to provide CVs of your staff that shows the experience that they have within the bid that you are requesting for. Now we come to specifically writing a winning proposal. When we talk about writing a winning proposal, the first thing I would like to state, without even talking about it being clear and concise, is that a winning proposal is a tailored proposal. If you just pick any proposal and you cut and paste, without ensuring that it addresses the issues of the client, you are not likely to put out a winning proposal. So a winning proposal, to begin with, should be a tailored proposal, tailored to the client's needs, because you have done some client intelligence, and also it needs to be clear and concise. So when I say clear and concise, I want to give a specific example. If I put within my proposal a sentence like shortage of some basic consumer goods have led to price hikes, while it is not a bad sentence, it is a vague sentence, and I would say it is not clear. My clear and concise would be shortage of consumer goods like rice and sugar have led to price hikes, so that when you have zoomed in, you have narrowed down, and so the person reading it knows at once that, oh, there's a shortage of rice and sugar, and also rice and sugar prices have increased. This is always important because, as I've specified, it is a competitive bid. And so you want to put your best foot forward, and you want to get the edge over your competitors. So a winning proposal should also be a value proposition. And the way you add value to your proposition is you have to have a differentiator, or what we call a unique selling proposition. What is your differentiator? I mean, if you are saying what everybody else is saying, why should I give you the job? And because it is a competitive bid, you want to outdo everybody, and so you want to put your best foot forward. So within your value proposition, if you say something like, we would deliver a successful so and so and so, it's a no-no. It is a no-no because none of your competitors would say that they will not deliver a successful outcome. Everybody would say they would deliver a successful outcome. Okay, but if, for instance, you are a real estate facility management company, for instance, you want to say that our facility as a management facility consultancy, we will paint the house 2 times a year. We will fix everything that breaks 2 times within the year. Meaning that if your pipe breaks, we will fix it 2 times within the year. If there is a problem with your space, we will fix it 2 times within the year. If there's a problem with anything, sanitation issues, we will fix it 2 times within the year. And so once you give a specific, then it is easier for the client to have to read between the lines and then compare you and evaluate you. And then a winning proposal is also a proposal that uses the client's words. So for instance, in the previous example we looked at with the planning structure for your write-up for the proposal, for instance, they talk about a consultant organization. Within that, you can be innovative and say, when it gets to consultant organization, instead of writing consultant organization, you can write about Fihankra. That is not bad. But when it comes to comments on TOR, it would be in your best interest to write comments on TOR. A winning proposal is a proposal that does not make the evaluator's work difficult. Because let's say they shortlisted 6 consultancy firms. They are reading 6 of the same thing. So you can be sure that it gets tedious and cumbersome. And you do not want to be the consultant who makes it so cumbersome that I get tired of reading at all. And so I refuse to read and then give you a pass mark, but you do not win. You want to be the person whose proposal makes it very, very attractive and easy for me to read, so that you score higher marks. And also, once you are using my words, you are mirroring my words, because if I have given you an RFP, I come looking for the words that I put in the RFP. So if you want to score marks, you want to mirror my words. So the next thing is that you also want to write with your audience in mind. Excuse me. You want to write with your audience in mind. Use the structure they have given. Give them what they want to hear. Once you have talked about what they want to hear, now you have their attention. And then you can talk about what it is that you think they need. But if you don't address it at all, I'm looking through the document and I'm trying to find where are the comments on TOR, where are comments on TOR, and I'm not finding it. So as an evaluator, I would think that, oh, they didn't talk about it. That is, you've missed the mark. If, for instance, I'm talking about return on investment, write something on return on investment. And then once you have my attention with return on investment, you can propose what it is that you think is better than even what I was asking you for. And then a proposal that wins also needs to be persuasively written. When I talk about persuasive writing, what do we really mean? It's the era of storytelling. And studies prove that as humans, we remember stories easier. It's very, very easy if you frame something along a storytelling line. So within a proposal, how do you try to tell a story? Because it is a business document, it's full of text and print. And if you look at stories typically have pictures. So you want to talk about putting in headshots of your team. You want to think about putting in visuals. Because what visualization does is, nowadays we are in the era of infographics. Learn a way of picking if there's a lot of data, it's shown that the brain retains only about 7 of what it picks up. If you download a lot of data, I'm likely to remember maybe 5 to 7% of it. So you put very complex data into an infographic. Number one, what it does is that I can easily go back and look at the data again. And it makes it easier for me to read, particularly if I've read a lot of text. You are summarizing it for me. And so you are making it a story tell, because it's stories that have visuals. You also persuade people. For instance, if I tell you that I am the best business development manager in town, it's likely you would go, oh, really? But if a client that I have done work for tells you that, okay, this lady or Fihanka Corporate Consults gave us branded materials that were so good, or they wrote a proposal for us, and every time they write a proposal for us, we win, it's more likely to convince you. So a persuasive story writing is the story writing that includes quotations or videos from those that you have provided solutions to. And the videos become, or the quotations become, a value add if they show specifically how they use their solution. They use the solution that you provided to them to add value to their business. And so these are some of the best ways to ensure that your proposal becomes a winning proposal. Tailor your proposal. Make it clear and concise. Don't beat about the bush. Don't try to get smart and use just words. Use figures in infographics and visuals. Use the client's words to mirror back to them. Write with your audience in mind. And also, something that I want to talk about, the way that you write with your audience in mind is to write a proposal that is not full of jargon. And so what happens in some settings is that, let's say a senior manager has written a proposal. It is very, very important in-house that after the technical team and everybody has put their proposal together, the person should read it and understand, even if I am not an auditor, even if I am not a construction worker, the basic essentials of language, good English writing skills should be present. You don't miss your tenses. You are not confusing. You know, if you go to YouTube and you Google in, there's a senator in Nigeria. If you Google in big English senator, there's a senator that will pop up. You don't want your proposal to be like that. You know, a key thing, as someone who has previous experience in media, they tell you in news reading and news writing that when you listen to the news, you know, nobody should listen to the news and go back while they are listening to the news to wonder, what are they talking about? And that is what you want your proposal to read like. You want the person who reads the proposal to understand what you mean. You do not want me to have to pick a dictionary to understand what your proposal is talking about. Because if I meet it the first time, I may look it up. But by the time I've met it 3 times, trust me, there's a probability that I'm throwing your proposal away and scoring you low. So you want to watch those things. And the next thing I want us to discuss is the submission process. The submission process. So within the government sector proposals, you have a sheet like this that will show you the submission, opening, and evaluation. And it shows clearly that you do not have the option of submitting it electronically. And it shows you how many copies of the technical and how many copies of the financial you are supposed to produce. You know, and these are things that should get carefully noted. Carefully noted, because what is the essence of submitting a proposal if you miss one of those and then they disqualify you? So submission within the government sector, these are usually found on the data sheets, and as I've already said, proofreading and editing. And I put into brackets jargons and ego, because usually someone would read the proposal and then want to correct a few things before it is submitted. And then someone feels that the editing or the taking out of a word or some words or a paragraph or some phrases within the paragraph is an attack on their ego, is an attack on their person. And so it becomes a problem. So for winning proposals, it would be good if organizations or a team would have a process for sign-off on proposal writing. Who is the final sign-off? Who is the arbitrator when there are differences? It really helps. And it makes for winning proposals. And also, I have found out over the years that it is best if you print your proposal out, envelope it, and get it ready before the day that you are supposed to submit. Because what usually happens is we have the proposal, it's almost done. You come to the office, just the printing the proposal out, one original, and the 3 copies that you are seeing here. If anybody within that chain messes you up, I am telling you, you will miss the deadline. If anybody within your chain misses out, you will miss the deadline. And it is so painful when the team has worked so much, only to find out that they missed the deadline and it didn't go well. So it is very, very important. As much as possible, I would personally advise that let the team ensure that they print it out and it is ready, enveloped, everything ready to go before the day of submission. So when we look at this sheet, once again, it is from the government proposals. It states that this an old RFP that I had. I didn't want to get into trouble with anybody, so I picked an old RFP. You know, it gives the time. And then what I want to show is it states what you should write on. Do not open. Because usually within the ministries, there are so many people. If you do not write it, someone is likely to open it and hand it over when it is not supposed to have been open at all. So please, please, and please again, ensure that you look at the data sheet or the proposal submission details and comply with them. It is very, very important. And as I was saying, nowadays, what government sector is doing is they open the bids right when you submit it or 30 minutes after. So personally, I think that one of the key solutions to, after you have written a winning proposal, ensuring that you actually win, is your follow through. What do I mean follow through? As much as possible, someone with the capacity to sit in on the bid opening should be the person to submit it. Why do I say that? Because if you are submitting at 4 and then the bid opening is at 4:30, how much time would it take to submit it yourself and then wait the 30 minutes and then appear for the bid opening? And nowadays, a lot of people will require you to sign a lot of things. And what also happens sometimes is you would give it to your dispatch. You will tell him so and so and so, submit now, it is 10, it is 10. He will decide, oh, it's moto, he can do it very fast. He will miss it, but he will come and tell you that he submitted it. You would have missed out. And this is a money-making document. So I think that as a win for you, for your company, and for everybody, someone with the capacity to sit in the meetings should go, submit it, wait around, attend the bid opening. And another thing that I would want to talk about, another thing that I think that we should address is the debriefing and takeaways. In Ghana, when you do international proposal, debriefing is very, very important. But debriefing in Ghana is a challenge because usually clients feel that they have put out a request for proposal, you have responded, they have gotten back to you, you didn't win. What else? But debriefing is very, very important for business continuity because it enables you to go back and find out where you missed it. What did I do wrong? What was my strong point? What can I do better? In proposal writing, it is believed that if you submit a proposal, when you see it in the newspaper, then it's already too late. It's already too late. So what you want to do is do some legwork around your proposal writing, not necessarily even the proposal writing itself. You should do some legwork. Once someone goes looking for business and they tell them, oh, bring a proposal, in Ghana, we are more likely to offer business to someone that we have ever dealt with before. So if I've gone to an office and they've told me, oh, bring a proposal, then even if the procedure is that and by that time they would have sat down with me, they would tell you, okay, you do this. No, can you do it this way? Can you do it this way? Can you do it this way? Then, and that is what makes, once you see it in the newspaper, a 50-50 win. Because by then I've spoken to somebody, I know what I want, and I would have, maybe it's not that it's not really fair, but I've spoken to so and so, let's say Ghana Talk Business, and I've told them, so I want A and B and C and D. So if I'm bidding with Ghana Talks Business, then they have an edge over you. You who have just seen it in the newspaper and written on it, So if you sometimes you would also put in a proposal because you don't know anybody, but you want to get to know people. That is not bad as a brand, but you want to ensure as a brand that moving forward, maybe today you would put it in to do some legwork around it and meet people on the ground, but you want to ensure that moving forward, once you write a winning proposal, you actually win the bid. Because what makes us say that once you find it in the newspaper it's a bit too late to bid is if I don't know you, I really cannot vouch for your integrity. And so I want to get to know you a little bit more before doing business with you. So a debrief serves as an avenue for you to meet the people that you put your bid with, and to find out from them, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? So that for business continuity purposes, you will up your game. And then I would advise, as part of ensuring that your bids win, that once you know the bid has been awarded, let's say you don't win it. Once you don't win the bid, when they say that, okay, Ghana Talks Business has won it, you will know. Give them about a week and then ask for a post-bid meeting. Don't let it take too long, because if you let it take too long, it's very likely that the evaluators have forgotten what it was that was the issue with your proposal. You don't want to do that. And also, once you have returned from that debriefing meeting, within 24 to 48 hours, meet your in-house team. Update them on what the client said, so that they will update your institutional data and any templates that you have. And once you have also done that, you would update the industry sector write-up, so that your templates are always updated. It's always good to go. Because if you can write everything, but you write it late, then you draw yourself back. And so in relation to that, it's very, very good if anybody, whether a team or a business, has a sort of client relationship management template that they can go to when they are writing proposals, so that their information is always correct and relevant. I think that is all that I have to say. Now I'm ready to take your questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Milena, and for all of us as well. I believe that we found it quite beneficial. Obviously, there are a lot of questions. This couldn't address everything, so the floor is open now. If you have any question, just you can raise your hand. Get on there. You see raise hand somewhere, and then once it's done, we can just unmute you for you to ask your question. Thank you.
Hello.
Aha.
Hi. Thank you for the presentation. It was very, very helpful and useful. I just wanted to find out, because everything that you've presented has been quite general, and I wondered if the consultants that you work with, not just you as in Fihankura, but generally have specialist industries. So say property or finance or I don't know, e-commerce or agriculture. Is there a way to find out who those consultants are and how to work with them, and also which proposals would be best to submit such proposals for? I don't know if my question is making much sense, but
can you come again?
So my question is twofold. The first is around the consultants that you work with when putting together proposals. So not specifically Fihankra, but just general consultancies. Do any of them have specialist niches or industries that they work
Yes,
with? So
they
say
do.
properties, finance, agriculture, e-commerce, or anything like that. Okay. And how do you find which ones to work with and which proposals would be best suited to win from? Because if a vacancy has been open for a proposal, but it's looking specifically, I think you mentioned earlier, specifically for certain things that other elements may not be pertaining to, how do you know and how do you basically apply for that?
So what would usually happen is, for instance, it comes from industry. As I am talking to you, let's say let's talk about Ghana Talks Business anyhow. So the proposal that I was talking about that we wrote recently was for a savings and loans entity.
Okay.
And automatically the industry would require, the client would require that you show expertise. And so you put a team on your, you know those within the industry. For instance, I'm a business development consultant, and so I know people within my industry. I have worked in Deloitte and Touche for some close to 14 years. So I know people within the audit space. Because I'm into marketing and advertising and media, I know people within the space. So it may happen that someone would call for a proposal writing skill. But for instance, the person calling for the skill is an expert within their field. I don't know if I'm answering your question.
Yes, you are.
And also, if I have to, I happen to find myself within a consortium, like I was talking about, where I'm writing for a real estate facilities management company. Okay, I have a lot of skills that the person is looking for, and the person is also bringing in his real estate skills on board. And so depending on what it is that you are doing, you are always working with experts in the field. If you don't have an expertise, you can easily reach out to. I wrote a community profile some time back for a community, 21 communities in the Volta region. And then they wanted to do a building project. So I spoke to one of my friends who is a hydro technologist. Should I say architect? Okay. And I told him I wanted a building architect. So he referred me to his friend as an architect. He referred me to someone in the World Bank. I had never met the guy, but I required his expertise to give me, how do I call it? A quantity surveyor or something. So I went to his office at the World Bank. We met together. He gave me his feedback, and it fed into that. They don't necessarily have to be people that you already know, like in the here and now. That's why we live in a society. You might never have met him, but if he's, and it's not something that he's doing pro bono. He's doing, and then he will charge you. So you reach out for the best. He gives you his code, and then you are good to go. So to write a winning proposals, when you need experts on board that is not within your team, feel free to reach out. And once you reach out, you extend your network. And once, you reach out, they tell you how much they would charge you and how much they won't collect.
Mm.
If they are charging too high, feel free to negotiate. It's business. It's business. You are in for the money. Once you are, and even if you require pro bono services, when you are upfront about it and you tell the person that, oh, I can't pay you, there are people who are looking to build profiles. And so once they can say that I worked with Fihankra Consult on this, and you are not paying them, they don't have a problem. So it's always good to reach out and feel free and negotiate.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello.
I have a question. Can I ask? Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so I have 3 questions that I need to put across. One, would we get a transcript of this session? As you rightly said, and when there's so much data, there's just so much that we can invite at a go. So we need to probably go through and then remind ourselves of the things that we have. The very, very wonderful.
Oh, the video.
Video
The video
or
will be
transcript.
on the Ghana Talks Business platform.
Okay, I'm not sure I'm on that platform, but I'll talk to your country when we are done. Okay, so my second question is, do you offer proposal writing service? That's Bianca.
Yes,
And,
I do. Proposal writing and
great.
coaching.
Great. Fine. My final question is, can there be something like a template, like a proposal template for, let's say, my company, knowing what I do, so that as and when offers come up, as and when you see these RFPs, you are able to tweak it, using the language they've used, and then making sure that you have answering their questions. Because sometimes it's 2 weeks you have to submit. You have to rush here, and it's a headache, And if you happen to be somebody wanting to be very detailed, I mean, I could come to you, do it for me, but even that 2 weeks, it's a headache. So is there?
Yes,
can we have something like
it's hectic because it's a detailed endeavor.
Exactly, and you don't want to go out there and then even if you don't win, they kind of have an impression about these people are not serious. Anytime they see your company profile, they might not even look detailed into
Okay, so we can
is there
talk about it.
That we can have? Yeah,
we can talk about it, and we can look at usually what I tell people is using the government sector, like what I've put in within the government sector domain. Use that one and then create a template in-house. But we can work with you to create a template for you. It's paid or paid. It's as a paid service.
Professional. Oh, sure. Why not? That I think would be better. Thank you very much for the answers. Maybe I would ask Mr. Yakwanchi, who I know as Socrates, to put me on the Ghana business platform. I don't think I'm on it, but I would love to be. Thank you very much. And thanks for the presentation. Very detailed, very informative. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, Milena.
Yeah, that's Roland.
Yes, dear. Please go ahead with your question.
Yes. Thank you very much for the presentation. It was very detailed, and we've learned quite a lot. My question has to do with I want to find out when it comes to proposal writing. Let's say, for instance, my company deals in fleet management, and
Fleet management.
I see fleet management.
Fleet management.
Exactly. Now, my question has to do with: should I concentrate specifically on that area and then write proposals pertaining to that area, or I can become a jack of all trades, and then maybe if I see a proposal or they are requesting for a proposal in, let's say, monitoring evaluation, I write it up. Maybe a proposal in agric, I write it up. Maybe a proposal in, let's say,
Oh,
IT
boss.
consulting,
Oh,
I write
boss.
it up.
Oh, boss.
Uh-huh.
You
If you could
you know
clarify
that
that for
that
me.
can't be possible. But I think that
Okay.
every company, like
Yeah.
like the gentleman I spoke to previously, I think it's in the real estate industry. But within the real estate industry, there are so many things that you can do. For instance, if you take, let me take my business. We offer business development, targeted advertising, digital marketing, and social media campaign. So we have 4 key services that we umbrella services that we offer. And under each service, there are subsets. Like if you take my business development arm, we offer proposal writing, business plan writing, grant proposal writing, and then corporate and community profile writing. Okay. So within anything that falls under, and I seriously don't think anybody will do what you're doing, but you look at how, of course, if you are starting a business, you want to specialize and be known for a particular thing, and for Fihankra, it's our focus is business development and then digital marketing. Those are our 2 core. But that doesn't mean that if I see an advert for corporate branding, I will say that it is not my key focus, and so I will not write on it, because I have worked as somebody who was in charge of Deloitte & Touche Ghana's business development wing for some 8 to 10 years. So I do all of that, and I do it very, very well. That doesn't mean that I am spreading my tentacles all around. The question you should ask yourself is, how well can you do it? Is it done in a haphazard way, or you are delivering quality every time? Because if you are not delivering quality, I'm telling you, people will come today and they will not come the next time, because you didn't give them a value add proposition. But if you are doing even 20 things and you have the team to support you, and you have people who understand your vision, that we are delivering quality or we are not delivering at all, then it doesn't become a problem.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, you have. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. My name is Frederick. I think I'm the only one left now. My question is, you said when we see is it an RFT in the newspapers, then it's a bit too late for us to apply. I just want to ask, with those of us that don't have any opportunity to see such requests anywhere else apart from maybe an insider or the newspaper, how do we then get such info?
That is what I talked about. You do deliberately submit it, do a quality proposal, submit, and then hound them in the name of debriefing.
Okay.
Do you get the point I'm making?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Even when you don't have any idea that it is needed.
No. They will put proposals out there. Otherwise, then look for businesses that you want to work with regarding what you are doing. Like, as a business development expert, I can go around every company that I think writes proposals and submit and tell them I want to write proposals for them and submit a proposal.
Oh, okay.
But that would require a lot of legwork and transport. You see those who come to your office and they say, "Dear client," you know, and then you tell them, they ask for the full name of the company and then they write it there. Even if you do that one, even if you want to do it like that, but the proposal is quality, and you have to ask the business name to put it there. I am promising you, do some legwork around it, or find companies' addresses. It is best, to do it with quality. It is best to go on the internet, Google map them. If they don't have their PO box there, Google map them. Maybe Fihanka Consult, Osu Dance Bar area. Write the proposal like that. At least you have the business name right. Do your cover letters very, very nicely. Send it out to them. Maybe they will not need it now, but ultimately when they need it, they will call you. So in rounding up, what I want to say is, today I am here as a business development expert. So what I will tell you is that we do corporate and community profiles, we do business plans, we do grant proposals, we do business proposals. So the video for this would be on the Ghana Talks Businesses YouTube channel. I may share it in a few places, but it will ultimately be there. I am very, very privileged and honored to have been chosen by Ghana Talks Business to be the resource person for today. We do coaching, we do writing. Mr. Crunchy Entry, will provide you with Fihankre's details, and then you can hit me up if you have business for me. Thank you very, very, very much.